Hi guys, my name is Ashley, and today we're going to go over all of the movies that I watched while I was sick, because if there is one thing that I do when I'm not feeling good, it is hermit on my couch and watch movies. First one being Vicious. This is a new Dakota Fanning movie, and this was not as I had expected. It's about Polly, and she receives a mysterious box coming with one rule: place inside something you need, you hate, and you love. If you don't obey, it will consume everything and everyone she's ever known. The thing about this is, what are the rules? Like, this movie was so ambiguous. It wasn't scary. It tried to be gory and impactful and a little bit meta, and it just didn't go deep enough with any of this, and the movie didn't have clear enough rules. That is my number one pet peeve. If you are of a supernatural being or a supernatural object and you have like this game that somebody needs to play and rules they need to follow, have rules that you have to follow as well. And also at the same time, it like held her hand being like, this is what you need to do, queen. And she was still like, no. She also took so long in between like giving the box all of these things. Like, you know, when you're sitting there, like, can you please hurry up and make a decision? Like, cry later. Something I really like to do when I want to get through a bunch of movies is make a playlist on like Prime Video or Netflix and be like, okay, here's a couple ones that I can choose from. And I added Leviathan to that list. And this is a movie that came out in 1989. I'm trying to watch more older movies. I gave this 2 stars only because some of the visuals were neat. The script for this movie was wild. This movie followed an underwater deep-sea miner who encounters a Soviet wreck and has to bring back dangerous cargo to their base on the ocean floor. And then there's like a mutation that comes aboard, and it kind of meshed for me The Thing and The Substance, but in like a B movie kind of way. And honestly, the visuals were neat, but the script, the characters, the decisions, why were some of these people on the boat? Some of these people were the most incompetent group I've ever seen in my life. And it's not like deep sea encounters are like easy jobs. You're going to get crushed by pressure. If there's anything that any deep sea movie has taught me, it's pressure down there is a lot. And if you try to come up too quick, you're going to be like, this movie was like, yeah, but they don't know that. So we're going to not do that. It's one of those movies where your coworkers and friends and people you've been living with for months on end and then people are like, oh well. So I was obsessed with this next movie. This was like peak illness. I watched 5 movies this day. I was just sat on the couch under blankets being like, but let's watch Bone Lake. And I did, and I loved it. This is a very spicy movie, but also a slasher, and just such a good time. The couples in this were so rich. The storyline in this was so fun, and the gore in this was really entertaining without being too much. This follows a couple's romantic vacation at a secluded lakeside estate is upended when they are forced to share the mansion with a mysterious and attractive couple in this darkly hilarious and seductive horror story. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. I just thought it was such a fun movie. If you go into this expecting like highbrow, slow burn, you're going to be like, what am I watching? But if you go in expecting kind of like a Scream that's a little bit more adult, you're going to have a great time. I also watched Good Boy in this little movie marathon, the horror movie that is told from the perspective of the dog. It is a very short movie. The story itself, I wasn't like enthralled in. I was more interested in the ways that they got the dog to do all these things, the little reactions, and this is actually the director's dog. So they took it very, very slow with this dog. They only filmed for like an hour a day. It took years to get this movie into what it is, and it was really impressive. I would give it probably like a 3-star just for the dog. And then I watched The Roses. This is a wild movie. You've got Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, and they're a couple. They're both successful, and there's just like this competitive storm brewing, and each of them are going to absurd lengths to be the winner. I thought this was so fun. I love both of these actors. I loved the storyline. I love all the side characters. You have Andy Samberg in it. You have Allison Janney playing like this hilarious cutthroat lawyer. She's so funny. If you want a very light movie that is also incredibly entertaining, this is a good one. And then I felt like, you know what? You've watched too many good movies. You need to watch the second Blair Witch. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. I mean, it's just not good. A group of college students decide to take part in a witch hunt tour inspired by a horror movie. As the adventure goes awry, the students realize that an evil has followed them home. Half a star. I mean, it's not good. The storyline is bad. The characters are bad. I really find that with early aught movies, a lot of what you're getting is crazy overreactions and a weird level of like over sexualization that isn't warranted for the movie. And this encompassed that and like every other early aught negative trait for a movie. Ooh, and then I watched Bring Her Back. I hadn't seen this. I did love Talk to Me when it came out. This one was far less fun. It was much more sad, and it was good. It was good. Like the whole storyline was good and entertaining and whatever, but it was just like, I don't love a depressing movie. I don't love a movie that, unless I'm in the mood to cry, stuff like this I tend to stay away from. And I was not in the mood to cry. I was already feeling bad. I didn't want to be like, oh, I feel like I can't breathe and I'm crying now. Like, Jesus. But it was a good movie. I don't even think I rated this, did I? No, I did not. I would give it like a 3.5 star. Following the death of their father, brother and sister are sent to live with a foster mother, only to learn that she is hiding a terrifying secret. And indeed she is. And the last one I'll talk about is one that I watched on the couch yesterday while I was doing my second favorite sick activity, doing a puzzle. And you know what goes well with a puzzle? The new Frankenstein movie from Guillermo del Toro. I did not expect to cry during this movie. I'll be honest, like I'm not big into like the historic monsters, like a Dracula, like a Frankenstein, like an Invisible Man. Like I'm not the traditional monsters that the horror genre was built on. Those aren't really my shtick, so I don't know the ins and outs of the Frankenstein story. And it's so sad. It just made me want to like take little monstrous Jacob Elordi into my arms and be like, shit's okay. Like, my God. It really is an argument on nature versus nurture. Everyone did a fantastic job. I have definitely seen a lot of people say that the beginning of this movie was unnecessary, and it certainly is a very long movie. It's over 2 hours. And the first probably 20 minutes are Victor Frankenstein's childhood and setting up how he is for the rest of the time. Could have been cut. Wasn't super necessary. Like, it adds a little bit of backstory and a little bit of motivation, but it's not needed for it, you know? I did give it 4 stars though, because the performances, the look of everything, the set dressings, the outfits, the coloring, the acting, the old man in the cabin. Oh my God. And Jacob Elordi did so good. He has this like innocence in his eyes and he's looking at you. And he's like, why am I here? I don't understand. If I were Victoria Frankenstein and I had raised this thing, oh my God, it would be the most well-adjusted baby you've ever seen. That's everything that I watched over my little sick journey the last couple days. We're finally on the up and up. Fingers crossed that this continues because, ooh, I'm real tired of laying on my couch all day, all right? That is it, you guys. Thank you for watching. And if you want to see a more sultry side to me, you can check out all of my links. Bye.